Yo, what is up, guys? It's Pedro here, and the Washington football team just got demolished by the Buffalo Bills 43-21. An ugly loss for the Washington football team. The offense did not look good, and the defense was not good at all. So in today's video, I will be recapping this loss and talk about some of the biggest takeaways from today's game. If you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content. Also hit that like button and turn on those notifications so you never miss a video. Also, guys, make sure you guys check out WinView. First link in the description. We'll be going over my predictions at the end of the video. Let's get right into it. Man, what a terrible performance by the Washington football team. I mean, 43-21, and it definitely could have been worse. At one point, it's 21-0. Then the Washington football team looked like it was coming back a little bit. They got it to 14-21, but the Buffalo Bills just really played well in that second half, and we did not. So let's first off talk about the defense before we get into Taylor Heinicke and the offense, because both units definitely struggled, but I think obviously the defense struggled a lot more, and we had higher expectations for them coming into this season. I mean, look at this. Josh Allen, 32 for 43, 358 yards, 4 touchdowns, didn't get sacked once. Yes, he got pressured, but I mean, he didn't get sacked once, and that just can't happen. I mean, that cannot happen. You're gonna have to get and it's not even like he was getting pressured a ton, but he was, throwing it out quick. No, he was getting consistently, had a lot of time to throw. There were a few times where Daron Payne went in there, and some other guys did as well, but for the most part, he had a lot of time in the pocket. I thought, our run defense was okay. They did allow a couple, big runs, but for the most part, allowing 3.7 yards per carry, that's fine. That's definitely not the big concern. But our secondary and our linebackers, our whole defense was bad, but specifically our secondary and our linebackers. I told you guys yesterday that Cole Beasley would go off because he was going to be lining up with Kendall Fuller, who was struggling, and same thing with Emmanuel Sanders. I mean, look at this. 98 yards, 94 yards, 62 yards, 49 yards, and they had 4 touchdowns. Let's look at some of the defensive players. Our linebackers like Holcomb, he had a few good plays, but for the most part, I didn't think he played well. He did allow at least 1 touchdown in coverage, but definitely the whoever caught it, I forgot, might have been Knox, definitely pushed off. Obviously doesn't affect the outcome of the game, but I'm not going to put that one on Holcomb. Kendall Fuller has been getting burned all season so far in the slot, which is surprising because, he used to play in the slot and he was good at it. Maybe they consider switching him back to the outside. I know Benjamin St-Juste isn't really a slot corner, but he's been okay, but he hasn't been great, and I just don't know. The defense right now is a mess. Landon Collins allowed at least 1 touchdown. He's okay in the run game. Sorry about that. He's okay in the run game. You don't want him in coverage. And I just don't understand why, at least in the first couple weeks, he was getting more playing time than Cameron Curl. Cameron Curl actually played okay today. He played good the first couple weeks. Again, everything that I say right now you have to take with a grain of salt because we haven't been able to watch film. I thought Jamin Davis, there was a couple plays where he definitely got beat, but for the most part, I thought he looked solid. He had that one really, really nice play on 4th and 2. And my thing is, Bostic is just terrible. He is our worst defender. He's just, he not only does he's awful in coverage, but he also allows so many yards after the catch. He just got absolutely juked out by one of the receivers. And, I mean, Bostic, at least in the first half, was getting so much more playing time than Jamin Davis. He was playing terrible, and it's like, why is Jamin Davis not in when there's no one that can be much worse than what Bostic is putting on the field right now? And also, you want to give your first-round pick some more experience. So I really did not get that. I have not agreed with the defensive rotations really all season. And I think Jamin Davis needs to start getting more playing time because, we're going to need it. If our defense improves, gets into at least an average defense by the end of the season, it's going to be partly because of the development of our young players like Jamin Davis and also Benjamin St. Jude. And I've really been disappointed with Jack Del Rio this season. I mean, he was great last year for us. And again, we did start out slow and were better as the season went on, but that's partly because of the competition we played. But I mean, the combination of the rotations that our defense, has had, like not putting Cameron Curl in a lot, having John Bostic on situations where you just don't want to have him in. Like John Bostic is a type of player you can put him on a blitz and get him to the quarterback. He's solid at that, and also he's okay in the run game. You don't want him in pass coverage, and there's certain situations where it's okay to have him in, but you don't want him in on a 3rd and 10, on a 3rd and 15, like he was today. Also, we're playing way too much soft zone coverage. I mean, just allowing them to get minimum 10-yard gains on a lot of these plays, especially in the first quarter. I saw that a lot. I think there was less of that as the game went on, but still did not like it at all. Our defensive line I thought the first 2 games, they were definitely underwhelming, but at least they got some pressure. This game, they didn't get a single sack, and the pressure was very minimal. They were okay in the run game, but still, our D-line has to be better. Even if they're getting held, like Daron Payne got held like once or twice, you still, like, the other guys have to step up. And, man, Chase Young, he's been quiet the first few games, and I know there's going to be people saying he's doing some things, and yes, he is. He made a few nice plays in the run game and a couple other nice plays as well, but he's a number 2 overall pick. Myles Garrett today, 4.5 sacks, and you definitely know that he's getting double-teamed and getting chipped like Chase Young is. And Chase Young wasn't even getting double-teamed that much. He was a little, but he has to step up even when getting double-teamed. And I don't know. We need to see more from him in the next couple weeks, and I think we will. But that's just something I wanted to say right there on the defense. Really, no one's performance stood out to me that I thought was great. The film might change that up a bit. I thought, again, Jamin Davis looked okay. I think Daron Payne looked good, actually. Daron Payne was solid in the run game, got some pressure. He had 2 QB hits, so that's good to hear right there. Chase, Sweat, and Allen each had 1 QB hit, and Cameron Curl was solid as well. But Kendall Fuller did not look good. Landon Collins in coverage was awful. Benjamin St. Juste, he allowed that touchdown. Not sure if that was him or Curl. I think that was more on him. William Jackson III, honestly, I thought he was okay in this game. I can't remember hearing his name too much. He got that 1 pass interference on him, but I thought that was more on Diggs, so I'm not going to put that on him. So he actually was okay. But besides that, our secondary was disappointing, besides also Fuller, and our linebackers besides Davis were disappointing, and pretty much our whole D-line, they were not good today. They need to be better, and maybe it'll be a get-right game against the Falcons, who still, though, I don't want to even say that because they have good weapons on their offense, but we have to be better next week against the Falcons. Now onto the offense. Taylor Heinicke, 14 for 24, 212 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I think those numbers are a little bit misleading, and I know there's huge Taylor Heinicke fans out there, and I'm a Taylor Heinicke fan as well. I love the story, but I think those numbers, like I said, are a little bit inflated because one of those touchdowns was a screen that was 73 yards that Gibson did all the work there. Yes, it was a good pass, but almost all NFL quarterbacks make that pass, and then at the end in garbage time, you got a touchdown to Logan Thomas. That was a really nice throw and a great catch by Logan Thomas, but Heinicke, 2 interceptions, which, the defense gave up 43 points, but I think there was at least 2 or 3 times where the offense turned the ball over or turned it over on downs in Buffalo, in our own territory, like giving the Buffalo Bills the ball in the 20 or 30 yard line. So obviously the defense was terrible, but the offense put them in very bad situations. You think about that quarterback sneak where Taylor Heinicke got laid out, where the Buffalo Bills got it at the 20, the 2 picks and the fumble. The Bills got it in good field position. So Heinicke just threw too many dangerous passes today, which is very uncharacteristic of him. He does sometimes throw kind of crazy passes, but so far this was definitely by far his worst game in a Washington football team uniform. 2 interceptions, could have been more, and really our offense was disappointing as a whole. Gibson, 12 carries, 31 yards. I thought he was good. I know those numbers aren't great, but he had that 1 7-yard game where he literally just juked out like 18 play, the whole team, and he was only able to get 7 yards. But I thought he was good. I know those yards per carry don't look good, but I definitely think he worked for those yards. McKissick was solid as well. I thought Heinicke honestly sometimes should have ran it a little bit earlier, like where he had that pass where he was past the line of scrimmage. He should have either ran earlier or just thrown it way earlier. And there was like sometimes I thought there was a lane open in the middle of the field for him to run, but we'll see how it goes. And Cam Sims had a 7-yard run as well. Gibson had got 1 catch for 73 yards. And that was a great play. Once he got a touchdown off that, that was an amazing play. I just don't like this number right here. 2 targets for Gibson. Like, you see what he can do. You see what he can do. I know he had a drop in the red zone right at the goal line. He probably could have gotten a touchdown there, but he needs more than 2 targets. I want to see this number right here up to 4, 5, or even more than that. But he, that was a great play by him, which got us a 73-yard touchdown. McLaurin was good as usual today. 4 catches, 62 yards, got targeted 7 times, and he got that one 17-yard gain wiped off because of a J.D. McKissick penalty. He looked good. Logan Thomas, he got 4 catches, 42 yards, and 1 touchdown. Those are solid numbers, but he had that critical fumble where he had that nice catch, broke a couple tackles, and had a bad fumble where they got the ball in our territory, and we had good field position there. And he also had a holding penalty, which didn't really look like one, but he still got called for it. So that's unfortunate right there. But his numbers were okay. Cam Sims, 1 catch, 15 yards, but also had a drop. Let's see. McKissick was good. 2 catches, 15 yards. I think him and Gibson need to get targeted more. That's just my opinion. De'Ami Brown had a really bad drop where it wouldn't have been a long gain, but we could have gotten a first down there because that was a 3rd and 7. So that was unfortunate. Our offense just wasn't great today. We got 3 touchdowns, which sometimes you'll be able to win games with that, but not against a team like the Buffalo Bills. You're gonna have to score more than that. I thought our offensive line only allowed 1 sack. They weren't great in the run game, but I thought overall our offensive line was solid in pass protection. Allowed some pressures, but for the most part, I want to see how many quarterback hits they had. They had 2 quarterback hits in the game. We had 6, so they didn't get to Heinicke that much. He's obviously pretty mobile, which helps, but I thought our O-line was solid in pass protection, not so much in run blocking. Again, the film is going to actually tell us what happened, and I didn't talk about special teams, but great play by Dustin Hopkins, where he was 3 for 3 on extra points, but also that kick was amazing. Almost could have been a touchdown by Khaleke Hudson, but he bobbles it, and Dustin Hopkins falls on it. That was a great play by Nate Katzer and the special teams unit. They needed a spark, and that gave them one, but they just couldn't hold on to that momentum. But great play right there by Dustin Hopkins. Got to give him his props when he deserves it. So that was a good play by him. And let's see. Yeah, that's really it for today. Very disappointing loss. And I expected us to lose, but definitely not like this, losing 43-21. And it could have been much worse than that. It really could have. Let's hope we can bounce back week 4 against the Falcons. But the defense is really concerning me because Rivera and these guys, Jack Del Rio have talked about it's little things, communication and stuff like that can be really correctable. Well, we haven't seen that. We haven't seen it being corrected, and last year, Ron Rivera, after a few weeks, was really quick to make changes on offense and defense. I can't remember if he benched Christian or got hurt, but I think Jerron Christian got hurt, but he benched Haskins, benched Wes Martin, and Troy Apke. So I expect some things to happen soon. Like, I don't need to see John Bostic on the field this much. Same thing with Landon Collins. And one also thing, and I know people aren't going to love to hear, but Rivera's teams historically are second half teams, and that's when we play the NFC East. I'm not even going to talk about playoffs right now, but that's just something to keep in mind. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit that like button. Also, guys, here are the win view picks right here. Didn't do great, but we got some of them correct here. Right there, you guys can see this right here. We did not do good But I think we are 5 for 5. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hit that like button, and we're gonna have a few videos in the next couple of days. And just let me know what you guys want to see. Peace.